So here's another example of highly stratified estuaries. Fjords. Okay? There are fjords created in interaction with glaciers. Okay? Fjords are typically relatively deep, okay, but they have a narrow exchange region. We call it a sill connection with the ambient ocean. And this is one example. This is the Hardangerfjord in Norway during summer and during winter. The freshwater supply in these estuaries comes from the melting of glaciers. Okay? Well, let's have a look. You can hardly see it here, but during summertime, what's shown in this top figure, let me turn on the pointer. Here's the pointer. These numbers here are the salinities in a very shallow surface layer. Okay, 31, then 25, and it decreases. The salinity decreases, and you get upstream on the other end, you get a very low meltwater salinity of 2 salinity units. The ocean underneath is all marine. Okay, it's all salinities exceeding 35. And there is an example of an inflow of higher salinity water here. You see a tongue of water coming. This is the connection to the open ocean. Okay, and this is typical of the salinity distribution in highly stratified estuaries. You can see that the salinity increases as you move down, and this can only be created through entrainment of water from below. Okay? What you then see in wintertime, where there is no more supply of meltwater near the surface, you can see it all disappears. Okay, it sort of all mixes away, and there is no clear structure anymore. Relatively high salinity water near the surface, 32, because of vertical mixing. All right. So the important feature of these fjords is without any inflow of water with high oxygen levels, the dissolved oxygen levels in the deeper layers in these fjords decrease over time. And this is one example shown here in the Utvik basin of the Nordfjord in Norway. At 400 meters, you can see oxygen levels, and this is a time series starting at 1931. And shown here are 25 years. And you can see that there's always times when the oxygen level is high, and then the oxygen level drops. And then it gets high again, and then it drops. And these events where the levels are high are inflow events. This is when the pressure gradient at the sill induces an inflow that is actually dense enough, the water, to sink and fill these deeper basins. Here you can see some examples of these inflows, okay? Of these inflows filling the deep basin. But in some fjords, it doesn't happen every year, so it might happen every 10 years. So the oxygen supply into these systems are strongly response to the freshwater supply, the melt rate at the surface. A very fascinating feature. We call this ventilation, okay, the supply with oxygen. And this is also associated with the flushing. Okay, we talk about flushing in the next lecture. Okay, so this is an example of a highly stratified estuary.